From the Opupco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson here with Barry Tramel. Time for our We Pick 'em. Barry, we're going all NBA playoffs all the time, and We Pick 'em this week. Let's get right to it. Let's look at all these Western Conference series, and let's start with the hometown team, Thunder, versus the Rockets. Who you got in this one?
Well, I've got the Thunder, and you can tell by just watching that Laker-Rocket game on Wednesday night how both teams felt about the Thunder. They wanted to avoid Oklahoma City at all costs. They played that game like a death match, a sudden death game to end the regular season. Both of them wanted San Antonio, did not want Oklahoma City. They know it's a bad matchup for both. I think the Thunder wins. Houston might get a game, but Thunder will win the series.
Yeah, I'm picking Thunder in 5 in this one. That's my pick. I do think the Rockets, with their up and down style, really want to score a ton of points, second in the league in scoring. This is a team that plays a style that tends to give the Thunder some trouble every once in a while. Teams that play this way don't necessarily always beat the Thunder, but I think in a 7-game series, you're going to see the Rockets win a game. I just don't think they're going to be able to handle the Thunder long term. Nobody on that team is going to be able to handle Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant for any length of time. James Harden would be good to guard him, but really can't, so that leaves them really vulnerable against the Thunder's 2 best players. Let's go to the next series involving the Spurs and Lakers. Barry, you mentioned the Lakers. How badly they wanted to avoid the Thunder. They get the Spurs. Who wins this one?
They get the Spurs. They're also going to get beat. I mean, San Antonio is going to beat the Lakers. It will be a better series, I think, than Laker Thunder would have been. But I think San Antonio wins 5 or 6, something in there. I think the Lakers are playing with some confidence. They found themselves, playing pretty well in the 2 games without Kobe Bryant, playing well down the stretch. But still, this issue with the Lakers remains their age. They've not aged gracefully. They got a bunch of old players. I think the Spurs will wear them down.
I think the Spurs win this series as well, and I think either the Spurs win in 5 or 7. I think they win on home court. And I'm going to go 7 because I think that this is just going to be sort of a battle between 2 older teams. And I think you're going to see the Lakers with some younger guys like Dwight Howard maybe have a chance to pull out a couple games. And I'm still questioning whether the Spurs have all of their bullets fully loaded. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili are playing, but how effective are they going to be? Are they going to be available for every game? Those are still questions up in the air. I think the Lakers win a couple games, but ultimately, I think the Spurs win the series. All right, Barry, what about the Nuggets-Warriors series? This is going to be a heck of a fun series, I think. Who you got winning this one?
Well, it is going to be fun. I think both teams want to get up and down. Both teams like to play fast. Warriors shoot a lot more threes. Nuggets like to get into the paint and score. But it's going to be a lot of fun, but I think Denver's the better team. The only thing that could derail Denver is another injury. Kenneth Faried has been banged up. Ty Lawson just now getting back from injury. They lost Gallinari. But if Denver has its players, even without Gallinari, they'll beat Golden State, but it won't be easy.
I wish this would go 7 games, but I think it's only going to go 5, and I think the Nuggets win this series. I just think, as Barry said, a better team, a more playoff season team. I think if the Warriors had maybe had a little more playoff experience, I might have them winning the series, but I just don't see it happening. But I do think it's going to be a fun few games, and like I said, would love to see it go 7. I just think the Nuggets are better and are going to make it a shorter series. All right, lastly, Barry, our last first-round Western Conference playoff series is between the Clippers and the Grizzlies. As much fun as that last one's going to be, I think this one could be really fun.
Well, it's a great matchup contrast. The Grizzlies want to slow it down and bang around with opponents. Clippers like to play up tempo with the Lob City. This was a great series last year. Memphis had home court, but loses Game 7 in Memphis. Clippers win it this year. Clippers have home court, achieved last night about midnight. So it's going to be an excellent first-round series. I think Memphis, though, is the better-built team for the playoffs. Their defense comes every night. Clippers have been inconsistent down the stretch. I think the Grizzlies atoned for the playoff defeat of a year ago.
I like the Clippers in this series, and I tell you what, I went back and forth. I think it's a 7-game series. And ultimately, I think home court wins out. Even though it didn't a year ago, I think the Clippers on home court win Game 7 and win this series. But it is going to be fascinating to see which styles win out. I think both teams are going to win on the other team's home court. I just think in the end, the Clippers will have that 7th game on their home floor. I like them to win at home. But I do think this is another knockdown, drag-out series, just like it was a year ago. Even though the Grizzlies are without Rudy Gay. I mean, they're a whole different team now, but still a team that could easily take out the Clippers. All right, lastly, Barry, let's talk about the Western Conference champion. Now that we've seen all the matchups, who you got ultimately win in the West?
Well, I picked the Thunder back in October, and I'm sticking with the Thunder, even though it's not the same Thunder team. When we made our picks in October, James Harden was still in the Oklahoma City roster. But I like what the Thunder's done, their consistency. They haven't always played great. They've had their dips. But the truth of the matter is, Oklahoma City is the team that most fear in the West. We saw it with that Laker-Houston game on Wednesday night. Both wanted to avoid the Thunder at all costs. I think the Thunder's the best team. They've got the playoff pedigree from the last couple of years. Really good won 5 playoff series in the last 2 seasons. I think they're going to get it to 8. I think they win the West this year.
I do too. I'm going with the Thunder to win the West, just as Barry said. And I tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see how these first-round playoff series impact things down the road. I mean, you're looking at the winner of Clippers-Grizzlies playing Oklahoma City if they beat the Rockets, and we think they will. If that series goes long, it's going to mean that a team is coming in a little bit more gassed than otherwise would play the Thunder. I think that bodes well for the Thunder. And then if you think the Spurs are the team to survive and play the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, I think they've got the potential for 2 really tough series, a long series against the Lakers potentially, and then a long series against the winner of that Nuggets-Warriors series. Could really wear them down too. So I think the Thunder's going to get some teams that have played some long series. I think they're going to be the better teams in each of those series, but then I think they may get some assistance with those longer series helping to wear down some opponents. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.